Yeah. Good morning, madam. Good morning, all the participants.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Good morning. It would be nice if you could keep your videos on. I can just see you all, at least for a moment. If it's affecting your bandwidth, then you can switch it off a little later. But then in the beginning, I think you can all, it would be nice to see you all.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to
Good morning.
everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. Are your colleges working now, or is it work from home?
No, it's working, ma'am.
It's working. You're all in your
Yes.
institutes.
Today we are not in. I am not in my institute, but it's working.
Okay, okay. Because Moya madam was telling me that they are all working from home.
No, it's a
So-
hybrid mode, madam. We have to-
Mine is completely work from home.
Oh, okay, okay.
Purely
Mine is
analog.
completely physical presence.
Okay, okay. Even in
Mine
our
is-
institute, it's like physical presence, but students are at home.
Yeah, students are at home. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's it. Correct. So I hope you had a good day yesterday. You enjoyed
Yes,
all
ma'am.
the
Yes, ma'am.
all the lectures and the games. I hope.
Yes, ma'am.
Today you'll be having a little less tighter schedule because we won't be having 3 lectures today. You'll be having 2, but a little extended one, maybe 2 hours, 2 hours each, and then after that we can have the game. So that yesterday I think it was a bit too hectic for you all.
That's
You
right.
got
Oh, no.
around, I think it was about
Madam, one thing-
5:30.
Madam, I have one
Yeah.
query. That is, Mohua madam has given one link for submission of work, which we have done yesterday. Madam, we had done
Yeah.
it in a group. So will it be in a group or individually we have to submit?
Oh, that I think we'll have to ask Moha madam itself.
Okay, okay.
Can you post it in the group, because she had given it from her class, I think, isn't it? That activity was from our class, perhaps.
Yes, it
Is
was.
it? Are you supposed to write and then send? What is it? What
No,
kind
I-
of work was it?
I think yesterday only we spoke about the thing, na?
Right.
We
So
I
have
don't
spoken
think
about-
we should be. We already that exercise is finished. I think.
Yes, again, it has been given. That's why I am asking, because it has already been done in yesterday.
Yeah. So there is no point of writing that thing
Okay,
again.
okay,
We
Same
already
thing we
spoke
have to
about
do.
it.
okay,
Yeah.
Exactly.
okay. Do you all remember your change project proposal plan that you had given? Do you all have it with you?
Yes, ma'am.
We
All of you
remember.
have it, right?
Yes.
You must be having a copy of it, a photo. You must have clicked the picture of it, what you submitted to us. I have it with me, but I hope you all will also have it. So tomorrow we'll be preparing a concrete change project plan. So it would be nice if you all can have it in front of you. Okay,
Okay.
so for tomorrow, this is for tomorrow. Just look up and search. I think you all would be having it already.
Yes,
You
we had
can
clicked a
have that.
photo. We had clicked a photo of that.
You have
Yes.
clicked the photo. So I think you can just go through it so that tomorrow you can rework on that plan.
Okay.
So, okay, today we are going to delve into a new area. Yesterday you were dealing with industry engagement. So today it's a different area, something very much familiar to you all, because all of you are teachers. Can we have the videos on of all whose it is possible? Okay, it will be nice to see you all. So we are going to delve into an area where you are all familiar with. It's teaching and learning. But we are not going into that formal teaching and learning, which we have been doing for many years and which we all know. The regular classroom teaching is not what we are actually interested, but that is also part of teaching, because teaching can never be complete without your regular classroom teaching. But we are going to delve into an area where we'll look at different dimensions of teaching. What are the other dimensions of teaching? So first itself, before we enter into what topic we're going to do, we'll be first breaking into groups, and then we'll have a discussion, and based on that discussion we'll be continuing with the slides. So I think I'll share my screen first. So this is, can you all see the screen?
Oh, surely.
Yeah.
Yes,
So this is yeah, workshop 2. This is your workshop 2 and day 2. It's you're going to, I think it's not scrolling. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, fine.
Okay. Now it's fine. Can you all see?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do in this session today, maybe 1.5 to 2 hours, we are going to work on what are the different methods for student-centric learning. We can discuss amongst ourselves and come to a conclusion or to a consensus that what could be included in student-centric learning. What are the different ways by which you can evaluate academic performance of students? Because see, when you are a teacher, and especially when you are now into the last 2-3 years, we are all mostly into online teaching. So what is the effective way of evaluating students' performance, academic performance? What ways? We can discuss that also. What models, what are the ways you are using for evaluation? The conventional exams are always there. Apart from the conventional exams, what are the different ways by which you can evaluate students' performance? And then about teachers. Now we are all teachers. How can we become a better teacher? Good to great. We are all perhaps good teachers. We know we have been teaching for many years. So I think we can now think of becoming a great teacher. How good, how better we can be, and how much we can improve upon our teaching. So what are the different teaching models that you can use in your institute for yourself? So these are another things which we're going to discuss. And then what are the areas where you can improve in your institution regarding teaching and learning process? So today's session is now going to be, we are going to discuss about mostly about teaching and learning process. So this is what we're going to, inspirational student-centric learning. So you all know that education is not preparing for life. Education, what we are learning, what our education is what we are going to carry forward in our life. It's not that we are going to just prepare for it. It's what we are going to live with. So it itself is life. So now this is the task. Sumanto, can we have breakout rooms
Yes,
now?
I am creating, madam. So just let me know, madam. So can you see the more option?
Yeah, I can see the more option.
Yeah. Just let me create the rooms manually. So I will create how many right now? 14.
You can have, how many are
14.
there? How many people are there?
14
Right now
participants
we
are
have
there.
15 participants.
14 actually. Myself, Orpon, and you also
Me.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 14 participants.
Yeah.
So we can divide into 4 groups. 4 groups will not be. It will be.
Sorry, no group will actually fit. We cannot equally distribute unless it is 2
Yeah.
groups. Sorry.
No, let's have. Okay, we can have 2 groups. That's also fine.
Okay, madam.
Or 3 groups rather. Let's have 3 groups.
Yeah. So in some groups, so there will be 5 and 4. 5 and 4 combination.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So I am creating manually, but I have not assigned. So I am assigning one by one. Mr. Dr. Abdu Mukherjee, Swarup Mitra, Suresh Mitra. Yeah.
Good morning to all who have joined now.
Good morning. Good morning.
So we are going to now just divide into groups and do this task.
So I have created 3 groups. So only room 3 contains 3 or 4 members. So I'm opening. So can you see this thing open all
So
rooms?
shall I click breakout rooms and see?
No,
Shall I click
you can,
breakout?
yeah, you have to click, madam. So
Okay.
yeah, whenever we will say, see, then I will open all the rooms.
It's showing 15 participants per room.
Yeah. So time span, madam?
Time is 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
And automatically the participants will join, and 30 seconds
Yeah.
count. After I that is whenever I close the rooms, then you have to join by 30 seconds. And one thing that also last day I told you that in this room, in this individual rooms, you can directly ask us. That is one button is there, ask a question. So I'm opening all the rooms, madam.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So everyone.
So just let me know. Okay, I can now see. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you can see, madam.
It's showing not joined. Okay. Okay. So room 3 are there now. 3 persons are there.
Yes. Yes. Actually, someone left, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Dr. Paulo Roy. Okay. I'm reassigning in room 3. Yeah, room 4, everyone has joined. I think Samiji got disconnected that time.
Swamiji is disconnected.
Yeah,
Swamiji is there.
now yes, now Samiji is there in room 3.
Swamiji is joined.
Yes,
No,
Samiji.
Swamiji's name is not there.
No, in room 3 I can see Samiji. Okay, Paulo Roy.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Right.
In Paulo Roy
Swamiji is
moved.
there. Dr. Pallav Roy has joined.
No. Actually, somehow he got disconnected. So
Okay,
Dr.
okay.
Paulo Roy will now join again in room 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
now
in the room, can they see my presentation? I want
No,
them to
no,
see
no.
the task, what is presented.
No, they cannot see.
So how should that be done?
You can do one thing, madam. So either you can share this thing again, that is joining the rooms again, but it will take some time. It will take 2 minutes every time.
Okay.
One
So
thing,
I'll
another
have
thing
to
you can do.
stop sharing now. Do you
You
mean
can
to
stop
say I have
sharing.
to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can stop sharing now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can write a broadcast message that if you have any query, you can ask us.
Okay. Or can I send that task as a broadcast message?
Yes. That you can
That
also.
can also be done, right? Okay.
Yeah, that can also be. Acha, HOD, I am assigning in room 3. Now every room has 5 participants.
It's not showing everything.
Which
The
one?
entire message, the message which I think I'll join and then share. That's
you
better.
can join. Yeah, you can join and share. That you can do.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
So shall I go to room 1 now?
Yes. Please, you can please click on join this button.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Having the same problem and coming out with different solutions. And that's a very interesting thing which we have found out, because yes, that some are designing in this way, some are designing in that way. So in fact, this all gives them an ability to learn from
And
themselves.
the thing is that they're understanding and learning. It's not
Yes, they are
something that
understanding and
they
learning.
just
Yes, that's what we
reading
have
the
tried.
book.
But yes, we are facing some barriers also, because all the students are not of the same academic quality. They are always not very enthusiastic to come out to take part in all these things. But still, we as a teacher have to do that, and we had doing it also. Sometimes they are not, they are reluctant to submit their assignments. We have to chase them, why you are not doing this and this, and all these things are going on. But still, we have been successful. Definitely, we have been successful. We cannot say that we are completely successful. About 60 to 70%, yes, we have been successful.
It's a
Yes,
slow
still,
process. It's not going to happen
yes,
overnight.
madam. Yes,
But
madam.
then the right start, the direction that you have all taken. I
Yes,
think anybody else would like to speak from team 3? Okay, so this is a combined, very nice, very nicely presented. All the 3 teams, you've come up with beautiful ideas, beautiful thoughts, and I'm really happy to know that it's all implemented in your institutes, and that's the best part. So I'm sure that you all will carry forward with it. So we'll just quickly go through the slides, because most of the points which I have in my slides are already been presented by you all. It has been discussed. So we can just have a quick, we can just rush through the slides and move on to the next topic, because these ideas which you have come up with is the most, I think, most appropriate in this time. And many of you have given some solid, concrete ideas. All the 3 teams have come up with solid, concrete plans for student-centric learning. So anyway, I'll just show you the slides. So here also we can, you're free to discuss and come up with, I think, more people. I'm just looking forward to hearing to everyone, because and if maximum of you, if you could keep your videos on and speak, then it's like, I feel as if I'm seeing you all. That would be the most wonderful thing. So if you can keep your videos on, please do it. And then wherever you would like to interrupt and discuss, please do. So student-centered learning, as you have all said, is an important thing in a memorable educational journey, because if you want to go ahead in today's times, taking lectures, going to the class and teaching, that doesn't work. You just teach, and because there's so much of information available on the internet that students are already having a lot of things. They are pre-equipped. So if you just go on with your textbook knowledge and then go on teaching, then that doesn't work. So there must be something which you should embed in your teaching process, where students get an experience on hands-on learning. And so some of the points which you already mentioned is case-based instruction, give them problems, projects, inquiry-based learning. So certain topics where you feel that there can be something interesting which you can bring about, then you bring in a sense of curiosity in them. And then they search about it, they research on it, they analyze it and come up with solutions. So that again includes discovery learning. So all these are some means of creating active learning among students. So in this case, when we are considering students or the learners, we can see what all they are gaining out of it. They are becoming very active in their own learning. They can decide the way they want to learn and how they want to learn. Yes, certainly you are guiding them how to do it, but then they know that they can follow a particular pattern. It's not very monotonous studying from a textbook. So they can decide on the way they want to learn and what they want to learn. They can develop new skills. They can build on their existing skills. So you have cultivated in them a thought or a feeling where they have a quest for knowledge. So they will adopt means of self-learning. Then another thing is that they understand what is expected from them, And so that is one important thing. Don't you all think? Because when you are normally conducting an exam, so the only expectation from an exam is marks. So I think that leaving that apart, when you are making them learn and you are evaluating in them by different means, then you are telling them what you expect from them. So they are understanding your expectations and they use their self-assessment techniques. So they have a capability of doing some self-assessment measures, taking up some self-assessment measures, and then they are able to perform better. So I think that is one thing that important thing that learners get. Then they work in collaboration, as you all had mentioned. You make them work in groups. They learn, interact, then they get ideas from their colleagues, peers. So they work in collaboration, and they come up with work, like you said, you check plagiarism, some authentic learning where they come up with some original work. That work they produce brings out or highlights their creativity. Now, what about us, the instructors? What we do is, we don't, as we said earlier, we just facilitate learning. We are not directive. We don't say, do this, do that. So we're not directive. We just help them to be creative and learn on their own. And we also learn to listen to their ideas. Like, in once upon a time, I think in old classrooms, what used to happen was it was like a totally monotonous thing when teachers used to come and teach, and then the students, if there may be some students who are alert and who are interested in asking questions. Apart from that, the rest of them are just sitting there. They have they don't have anything to say. And when they don't say anything, the teacher also just puts his own ideas, and that's the end of it. Now
It was a monologue, isn't
it
it?
was totally a monologue. Yes. Now we know what the learners think, what the students think. We know that they have ideas, they have worked on it. When they work on a particular project, they come up with brighter solutions. So you learn to respect their views also. And some of you said that you give open-ended questions, so that they can, if you are giving them a problem and then you give them hints, open-ended questions, so that these they can come to solutions, conclusions, which that will make a difference in what they were doing. So that itself is a very accomplishing thing for us instructors. When you see that you are just not telling them what to do, you're just helping them out and they are coming out with solutions. So that is a very good thing. So if you consider this student-centric learning approach, then here, again, we had discussed all this. It's a totally active search for meaning by the learner. The learner is doing it actively. There is no passive work. You are creating knowledge. You are giving them, constructing them. You're constructing knowledge. You're not actually passively delivering it. So there is a lot of experiences involved in it. Your students' experiences, your instructors' experiences. So everything put together, this will help in a much more beautiful learning process. And what are the instructional strategies that can be used in this kind of learning? You can manage time. This is one thing, many of the online classes, I think once we have started these online classes, there is a flexibility for the timing. So you can manage your time, and based on their needs, you're not giving them fixed time you can give them a task and you can give them time to do it. And then you can give them time to evaluate their own work and then come up with their presentation perhaps. So you are flexible in managing the time. Then you include activities. Many of the activities that you'll be including should be relevant to the leader. So you will do that. That is the process. In this process, automatically you will be coming up with ideas that are relevant to these learners. And here, students have the responsibility. This is one important thing I think all of you must be realizing. that the learner has a responsibility. Earlier, it's like it was our need. Hame course complete karna. We have to complete the course, and then we have the rest is, if they study, it's okay. If they study, they'll score marks. That was the thought process. But now it's not like that. The students have the responsibility of doing it. Then you give questions and tasks, which we've already discussed. It's not just memorization and vomiting. And you try to develop their critical thinking skills. That is another thing that which is very helpful in this kind of learning, where you are focusing. And I think flipped classrooms and giving them project-based study or case-based, and all these things really help in bringing out their critical thinking skills. And in the process, they evolve some new strategies of learning. It's like they may search their net, they may read different, suppose they are working on some design project, they may read about different designs that has already been presented, or that has already come up, and then they will work on it. So they learn to analyze, understand. So all these things, they will develop their own learning strategy. And here, peer learning, peer teaching, that is another important thing here. You learn from your friends, you learn with your, just like I think one of you was saying, Dr. Sandeep was saying about how there is no teacher in the class. The teacher sits in the center and the students are surrounding. And you have tables where students sit in groups. So there's nothing like a teacher-student relationship. It's more of a friendly atmosphere. So that really helps. So you can just see this. These are some of the certain student-centered instructional methods. Many of these you've already said. Some presentations, you can just have, you can make a panel of experts and then have them interact. Students can interact with them. Brainstorming sessions. You can ask them to create their own media and then develop something. Like some certain tasks can be like you do it through visual media. Then there is another idea called KWL, that is know, want to know, and learn. So this is like you just create different charts. Based on these charts, you have different levels by which the students can learn things. That is one way. Then you have case studies, you divide them into groups. Then you have the puzzles, then experiments, role play. Role play is another area where you can make students understand things much better, especially certain situations in an industry and all those. To a certain extent, I think we can work on role play. Similarly, simulations, then, labs, workshops, demonstrations, they all help. Index cards are certain things like you use some color coded cards just to get attract the attention of the students. You can just give them certain colors are assigned for a particular particular task. You give them certain index cards, and the more number of cards you get, the more the points you get. So that way you can assess them by their the performance can be assessed in a different manner, not in the form of marks. Then inquiry based and mental models, these are all certain things which you all mentioned. Projects, question and answer, social media, some games, competitions, debates. So these are some of the different methodologies which you can adopt. So it depends upon your course, what your subject you're teaching, what topics are there in your particular subject, that what methods you should adopt. So it all depends on the teacher, his creativity. And I think there is no set pattern. You cannot say like my department is going to adopt this way of teaching. So it's not going to be like that. You can adopt for different subjects, different ways. And some numerical based subjects, you can work in a different way. Theoretical based subjects, you can work in a different way. So it's all lot of creative teaching and learning. So I hope you all, so this is a video. I'll be sharing this with you all, this presentation with you all. So you can just go through this video. This is about collaborative learning. I'm not playing it now. It's on collaborative learning. It's a 30 minutes video. It's in an engineering institute abroad. So you can just go through and see how they are discussing about collaborative learning. It's just an additional information. It's not something very new. It's most of the things have already been discussed by you all. So it's something where you can get a broader perspective of what we were talking about. So I'll just stop sharing for the moment, and then before we go on to the next topic, do you all have any more inputs to this? Just open discussion for a few minutes, couple of minutes.
For example, about role play,
Yeah.
I just love it because I have set 3 to 4 topics actually in my course. Every year I try to do
Okay.
that through this role play, and it
Okay,
becomes
okay.
really
Yes,
interesting.
yes,
That
that's
class
very
is
interesting.
is remembered by by the students forever if the role play is made for understanding certain topic.
Yeah.
But there are nowadays it's very difficult through online mode. A person joining it,
Yeah.
I mean, today and then after 2 days, then again he is joining. So the
Yeah,
flow,
that's another
is a huge
difficulty.
problem. Huge problem is about flow.
The
Or many of our
attendance,
members,
the attendance of
attendance.
students.
The
Yeah.
attendance of students. Even if you can create an environment, but if people could not know because they did not join.
Yeah, right.
So the interest preparation is also very challenging right now.
Yeah. What about others? Swamiji, your views? I didn't hear from many of you, Dr. Chandipani, Dr. Swarup Mitra.
Yes.
Swamiji, your views?
Yes. Yes, madam.
Yes, Swamiji, what do you
Yes.
think about this approach, a student-centric approach?
Actually, it is a practice, madam. We are doing it and always, getting correct results also. But one thing is that actually, this is I'm telling it from little general perspective that mostly the some of the student section those are coming up from the, you can say, the state rank or others. So sometimes that if it is at in a very bottom level, or you can say very higher rank, so then they may not be much interest, because that level of cognition may not be of that level. That is little, hindrance point that is there.
Okay.
Regarding all other things, we are practicing this and getting good results.
Okay, that's nice. Who else would like to speak? Dr. Suman Bhattacharjee?
Okay, ma'am, you just asked. I can say that
Yeah.
We are going for the simulation type. Some projects are being given, as Dr. Ori sir has told.
Yeah.
We are also going for the open book test. Is one of the good example. We give them projects and some analysis type problem, so they can have their own innovation, or they can have all the resources in their hand, and from there they are putting them in their own ideas how to. So in that way, we can say we can bring out the ideas out of them, and out of which that thing can be done. Though it is difficult, most of them are not able to find any interest, because we don't have our all the total motivation by sitting in an online mode. And
That's what.
much more motivated.
To keep up the motivation is the biggest task. I think you'll have to offer chocolates and say that you are all going to get chocolates when the situation is changing. Chocolates or more. I think you'll have to lure them with many things to keep them motivated.
Yes.
That's true. Dr. Diganta?
I want to add one thing, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello.
I want to add one thing, that is, I have adopted one method that during the project or during the seminar distribution, and after distribution, suppose there are 4 members in a single group, and what I can do, suppose I am selecting 4 relevant papers on that particular topic, and I am distributed these 4 to the 4 group members.
Right.
And they presented in front of all other students what they have learned from that. So this is basically a knowledge sharing between the students. All 4 students need not require to read all 4 papers. It's a time consuming process.
Yeah.
It's a time consuming. So whenever it's a very relevant that when we heard something, it will be obviously keep in our mind that these things are going on rather than we read it in the books.
Yes, yes.
So I
That's
can
very
think
true.
that
That's a
this
good
is
idea. That's a good thing.
in
And
this
you
way
found
I
it useful? You found it useful?
yes, it is very, very much useful. It is very
Okay.
much useful.
Yes, yes. That's nice.
Requires less time because always there is a time constraint.
Yeah.
So this method I have adopted for the seminar and project purpose.
That's good. That's
Student-centric
really good.
learning.
Yeah. Very nice.
Okay, ma'am, good morning.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Good morning, Dr.
I
Suman.
have adopted the method of giving mini projects when I am teaching my subject. I
Okay.
used to give them mini project. Now, the main barrier of this one is you all know that I hope think that the maturity of the student of our country is not up to the mark. So that is why when you are giving mini project, I am
Okay.
finding that at least 70% of them are submitting, but the rest 30% they did not submit, and you cannot do anything for them. They are actually rejected. So that is
Okay.
the main barrier. That is the main problem which I actually found during my classes. So around 70-75% student will submit, but rest 25 to 30% student
They will not do.
are
Yeah.
not engaged. So that is the thing.
What do you think can be done to motivate them? Anybody who can help in this thing to motivate more students to do the task? Yes, sir. Yeah, Dr. Suman.
Yeah, actually, regarding motivation, I only means awareness. Means we need to tell them that what benefits they will get from it. Then only they will understand probably. So that is the thing. And I used to tell
And
them that
a certain group, whatever you do, they may not come in your line. That is also
yeah. That is the problem. That is the problem. 20-25 students should always be there that you cannot do anything for them.
Yeah.
So that is the problem.
Yes, yes. Yes. Anybody else? Dr. Diganta, you were saying something.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, regarding motivation, I would like to point out there if we can generate a healthy competition. For example, in regarding project itself, I will say I had done an experiment. There are 4 students in a group, normally project group, and I had 2 project groups, so 8 students. So what I did, I broke them up into 4 groups of 2 each. Now all the 4 groups were not interested in doing project, learning. Actually, they were interested in doing project, but they were not interested in learning and gaining the amount of knowledge they require as per my expectations. So what I did, there was one group with 2 students who were really working on it. So I went with them, and their project was done very nicely, and we communicated one paper.
Okay.
Once the paper was communicated, then a competition started.
The others
No more
started
motivation
feeling
was
that
required
now they
for-
have to do.
Yes. So at that point of time, there was no need for me motivating any other person or any other student. So they also started. Now the students who had already communicated, they felt themselves privileged. And those who were not doing it seriously, now they came into the line and they started. That was a healthy competition that I observed.
That's
So
good.
normally,
That's good.
yeah, normally what happens is that if there are 4 or 5 groups, we cannot expect all to be at par as the 5 fingers of our hand. So better to start with one group, any one finger of the hand.
Yeah.
Proceed.
And automatically they will fall in line.
Yes, because they want some examples. Students are
That's true.
there are very few students who are leaders. Most of the students are followers. So they need one example after which they can start following the trend. So once the trend is set, I think the motivation part becomes much more easier.
Yes, that's true.
So this is one thing that I observed very keenly from my life.
Anyone else? That's a good idea. I think many of us can adopt that. Dr. Pallav Roy, would you like to speak?
Yes, ma'am. Well, if you wish to motivate the students, you should first think the way they used to think. I mean, instead of assuming that you are a teacher, try to go back some 20 or 30 years in past and try to analyze within yourself that if I was a student, what would have motivated me? So if you analyze, you will come to some conclusion. I mean, there will be some answers automatically coming out, that what were the flaws inside me when I was a student? What I was not knowing that caused lack of motivation within me? So what I believe that continuously, if you interact with the students, nowadays that is a big problem that we already have talked about, the attendance and all. So most of the times we don't find 8 students out of 10 in the classroom. But if we ever get the opportunity to directly interact with them, and we cannot get the opportunity until and unless there is some interaction session already implemented in the routine. So we can make it a practice that there will be one session. You know, we are always in a hurry to finish the syllabus, the coverage, everything. We are liable, to answer our higher authority about the coverage of the syllabus and all. But if we can manage 1 or 2 sessions out of that, hustle and all. If we can interact with them, if we can make them understand that what is, sometimes it may happen that a student who is in 3rd year is not having any idea that what he is actually going to do. Some of them are doing engineering without knowing that what is
why they're doing this.
Yes. So being, whatever we have learned from our life, whatever we have experienced over the years, if we can share our experiences with them. I mean, we all are having different experiences, but when 5 experienced people will share, and very, very sincerely, they will share their experiences with those immature brains. I mean, I should not call them immature, because it will happen that someone is getting matured at 13, someone might get matured at 30 even. But still, sharing your experiences specifically to make them understand that what not to do. What the things we did wrong, which caused us not to reach that height. If we share those experiences, probably they will come closer to us, and they will find the way.
They will also be open and come up with their own issues, what they have.
Yes.
Very true.
So
that's a good thought. Anybody else? Anyone who hasn't spoken at all? I would like to hear from Nilanjana, madam. Nilanjana is here. Okay, who else? Manik Chandradas. Dr. Suchismita isn't well, she was saying, so we'll just excuse her for the moment. Anybody else who would like to speak?
Good morning, madam.
Yeah.
So this
good morning, good morning.
All the points you have mentioned are very fine, and slowly we are also adopting few of these points. Okay, so we also give students some open-ended problems to showcase their ideas, and from that what they learn, we always appreciate. So in that way, we are also engaging students to come up with new ideas, new solutions. Type of Thank you.
Perfect. That's good. See, it's such a nice thing to hear that everyone is in that thinking in that direction. So I think none of you had any questions when I just mentioned student-centric learning. Nobody was wondering what is it, and that is so nice that you all were in line with that thought. There was not a single person in this total group who felt that this was not necessary, and there is no debate on this. So everybody understands the importance of the students importance of actively participating students in learning. So that's the best part of today's discussion. And Dr. Sujoy? Dr. Sujoy, Nilanjana, ma'am, Nilanjana Datta?
Yeah, actually, I got disconnected, ma'am. I couldn't hear anything from, this device. I don't know why.
Okay. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, then I think you were not there right from the beginning?
Yeah, I was there. But the moment you called me, Shumanto knocked me, but I couldn't hear.
No problem. Would you like to say something?
I mean, on what context? I didn't get that point.
We were talking about the same thing, the student-centered approach, what all things you can do, what some people were saying that it is difficult to keep students motivated. So you have any idea by which you can keep them motivated? Do you have any different methods that we did not talk about till now? Any idea, anything you would like to express?
Right. Well, most of the points I think the speakers, they have already covered. But yes, I have I cannot think of any different approach, but it's a very common one that we should ask everybody to talk to us, to interact with us, and we should give them small projects or maybe assignments where they can enjoy a lot, like kind of a thing that we are following here. So if it is possible for us to get involved, make them involved, so that the productivity will also be increased. I think so.
That's nice. Yes, you're very correct.
Hello.
Yeah, Dr. Sujoy.
Ma'am, actually, I think the mentoring system is already there in our institute. So where day by day interaction, actually we maintained a diary. So whatever the interaction have been done during that day with that student, and if each and every teacher assigns some students, some amount of students, and in a month, maybe once or twice, we have meet those two students, those students we have assigned to us, and not only regarding the subjects or teaching learning, we have discussed about the other issue, about their life, about their family. Actually, we try to be kind of friend with them, so that they can open up their minds and discuss with us or about all the matters actually. So in some cases we feel that maybe he or she is not that much good in study, or maybe in other ways. Maybe some people, we find that some people are very much good in athletics, but somehow they are not finding the scope to open up their situation actually. So we have given we try to help some other ways so that they can
see, that's mentoring is a very good method.
Yes, because ma'am, as we all know that we are looking for it is not possible to all the students to give the whatever they required actually, job actually. It is not possible. So we have to find other ways so that they can cope up their situation in other other fields also actually. Maybe in entrepreneurship, maybe in other otherwise it is not possible. The population in our country in such a huge amount, so it is not possible to feed all the students in all jobs actually.
Right.
So that's why we have to think of other ways.
I think one thing we had left out was that entrepreneurship, bringing up that thought in students, like many of our directions may be to bring up creative thinking, but then thinking that would ultimately make them earn a living. That would also help a lot. So I think that is a really good idea where you can instill or cultivate the feeling of entrepreneurship. So I think that is also one thing that can be done. So I think now we'll move ahead. with the next part of this. So this video, when I share with you, you can all see this video. And it was really nice interacting with all of you on this topic. So now let's move on to us, highly effective teachers, how we can develop into highly effective teachers. So see, we all are teachers. We just in the beginning of this class, I was telling you that we all have been teaching for so many years. So there is nothing like you need to prove yourself that you are a good teacher. But to improve that quality of teaching, I think there is always a continuous learning process amongst teachers also. It's a never ending process for us also, that we should learn, we should try and adopt methods by which we can improve our teaching skills. Like, all these training programs, how much ever useful it is for you all, it is even more useful for the trainers like us, because see, we are getting so many ideas from you all. Our interaction with teachers, it's not like interacting with students, our interaction with teachers makes us grow. We are growing one level up with this kind of interaction with you all. So I think the effectiveness of teaching keeps on improving, and what all means by which we can improve that, we can just go on to this. Now this is a task for you all. All of you can take out your pen and paper and see this. You have these 9 dots. You must connect all the dots by drawing 4 straight lines. Okay? You can draw only 4 straight lines. Your pen should not leave the paper. See, you should draw it in such a way that your pen will not leave the paper. Okay.
Can the lines intersect, ma'am?
Pardon me? Yeah, you have to connect all the dots. Okay. You have to connect all the dots. But you can draw only 4 straight lines. Okay, and your pen should be a continuous movement of your pen. So just try it, and anybody who finishes, you can just present on the screen. You can draw it on the screen and show. You can just, like you did it in quick draw yesterday, you can just draw and show us. So the first person who, this is a game, the first person who does it is going to get a gift in the next workshop.
Anything I wish I can draw.
No, you have to connect these dots by drawing 4 straight lines.
Okay, all the dots,
all the dots should be joined. By drawing 4 straight lines. You're all there? Have you all drawn these dots now? Then I'll stop sharing.
Yes.
Because I can see you all. Just draw 9 dots, जैसे हमारे Google के Gmail के उसमें है. Just 9 dots. So I'm just stopping the sharing part. Okay. So now who is going to show it to me? Show it to the entire group. Dr. Rudro, I think I didn't see you in the, you were there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Yeah, I think your name is not visible, right? You're again shown as Galaxy 824.
Yeah, actually, I means my network, due to my network issue, I just learned out and then again I joined in.
Okay.
So
that's why I didn't hear. We didn't hear from you in the earlier session. That's all right, no problem.
High fever actually.
Yes, it is done, madam.
It's done. Okay, you can now just present on the screen.
I mean, I will draw it on the screen, or I'll show you the paper.
You can draw it on the screen. That will be better. Yeah, you can draw it on the screen. Looks like you've done it. Can you draw it on the screen? Have you all finished? Have you all finished?
No, ma'am.
No,
Okay,
ma'am,
let's
I
wait.
think-
Then, Dr. Pallav, I think you're giving them ideas. You can just wait.
Okay.
I think if you can show it by drawing, then that will be the best.
Okay, I'm trying. Let me open my paint.
We'll wait for a couple of minutes for the others to finish. Then we can see, we can have a vote how many of them have done it the same way. I'm sure many of you would be, most of you would be able to do it because you're all thinking in that right direction.
I have given it in the WhatsApp group. Somehow I was unable to.
Okay,
do
okay.
it.
Okay, Dr. Sandeep, is it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. But all the dots are not joined.
All dots are joined.
Okay, it's not complete, in fact, right?
No, it's complete. I mean, we started from the right lower one, going toward left side at the top, left top, then coming down.
Okay.
Then
It's part. Most of it is right.
Then towards the another diagonal to the right, extreme right, and then the left one, 2 was left, so 2 is connected. So 4 straight lines are there. I started from the right lower. The lower
Okay,
right
you started
corner.
from the right lower. Okay.
Right lower I started. Then I went through that, and then you can understand.
Yeah. It's correct.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, I think Dr. Pallav, you're sharing a screen?
Yes.
Okay. You're drawing it for us, right? Yeah.
Yes. Just a minute. Let me choose a bright color so that. Just a minute. Okay, red will do. Fine.
Yeah, red is good.
Okay, I'm starting from here.
Okay.
Going like this.
Yes.
Moving down.
Yes.
Going a little further.
Yes.
And then joining these 2 dots. Going again a little further. And then coming back like this, and that's done.
Yes. Perfect.
This is the one I also showed.
Yeah, you also showed the same thing. It's more or less, it's all, see, all of you have thought in the right direction. That is.
The hint is going a little forward. That is the hint.
Yes. Who said that? Dr.
I'm
Abro? Yes, that is it. Going a little forward, thinking out of the box. You are not, none of you tried doing it, just joining those lines, isn't it? So that was the thing. Thinking, have you done this exercise earlier?
Me, madam?
Anybody? Any of you have seen this? Because I think it's in some management games also this is done. So yes, exactly, this is the thing. But the way you drew, it's slightly different. So see, there are different ways by which you can do it. And this, I'll show you one. This is the one. See, you can see over here. It's the same as you have done, but it's the approach is slightly different.
In any case, we have to go out of the box.
Yes, any case you have to go out of the box. That is, you see in this one, you draw the first line, you go till here, then 2, then you extend it, it's out, then you come back 3, and then you join the 4th line. It is just only the direction of the way you all drew is slightly different. Otherwise, the idea is all the same. You have to go a little forward. And that is exactly what we teachers also need to do. Think out of the box and come out with creative ideas which you can share with your students. So that is exactly what is intended by this exercise. So as teachers, we are not expected to find a fault. We always should have remedies. We are not expected to say that this is not working, students are like this. We are no longer, in fact, at least in our earlier stages of our career, we can do that. But we can say students, hamari baat nahi sun rahe, they are not attentive, they are not attending the class. See, like you all came up with different ways to motivate them. So this is exactly what we need to do. Just find solutions. I think this part many of us have already discussed. The top 3 teaching and learning challenges for your institution. Anybody can come up quickly with some most challenging things, challenging teaching learning aspect for our institutions in general. Let's not do it as a task. Just let's discuss openly. What do you think are the major teaching learning challenges? Any of you?
Well, ma'am, I think it is the lack of acceptability towards the new ideas, both from the student end and as well as the management end.
Yeah, that's also correct. Then anything else? More challenges? Yes, there is a lack of acceptability of ideas. Change is what people don't really accept quickly. So that is one thing. Other than that,
Ma'am?
Yes, Matushi ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Please come up.
What I felt that one of the challenge and this teaching learning process, I mean, in this pandemic situation, I felt the balancing of diverse learning need is one of the challenge. Balancing, I mean, different needs, diverse needs, learning needs. This is one of the challenge.
Okay. You mean by diverse needs in the sense?
Diverse needs means I mean, the student should do the project. We have to, I mean, come out with different ideas. How the students, we have to teach them in live classes. We have to prepare the different video lectures. The students need to, they need to do the project. They are doing online certification courses. So many things they are doing.
Yes. Balancing all of them together. Yes, that's very true. Yes. Anything else?
Connecting the students to the bottom line, actually. I mean, you see that we can have so many sessions, we can have so many exams, and ultimately whether the students will have the successful career or not. So that is the, whether they have the proper values. So that is the main thing.
Right.
Otherwise, the students are coming, they are passing out. And then the next batch is coming. That will be like that.
Yes. How much of skill development is there? How much of values are imbibed by the students? These are all things which is not seen in a larger perspective by us while we are teaching. So, but that is certainly a challenge. Very true. Anyone else? Okay, so some of the challenges, we all know that there are certain challenges which we are facing pre-pandemic times, post-pandemic times, during pandemic times. So these online learning, online teaching has, like Matushi ma'am said, balancing all those together. It's difficult for the teachers as well as for the learners. So that's always there. But apart from that, now we're going to think of a different dimension where how you can monitor and standardize assessment. Like, see, we are only now going to talk about how we are going to assess the students, their performance, the student experience or student performance. how are we going to monitor that? How are we going to standardize it? What is the standardized approach to assessment, student assessment? So if we have time for a quick group task, would you like it as a group task, or would you like it to be discussed just offhand? All of you?
We can discuss as such.
Yes, we can discuss as
Yes,
such, I
we
think,
can
because
discuss,
you need not go on to another group and discuss. So we can discuss like this. What do you think are the means by which you can assess students' performance, and how do you standardize them? I think the same groups, people you can, you all know, you can just think and just put up with your, come up with your ideas.
Actually, one standardization has already been provided by AICTE itself, no? That when we are assessing the students, what is the, performance outcome for the students?
Yeah, that's there.
So what is the
no
outcome?
Apart from that, okay, that is there. That is a broad guideline.
Broad aspect, yeah.
But in smaller units, how will you do it? How can you standardize and standardize assessment process? AICTE guideline is always there. We are all following AICTE guideline, but then what other means can you adopt?
Like we can ask them to present, on a particular topic which has been already taught in their class.
Okay.
They may present something, and based on their presentation skill, we can assess their knowledge, their communication skill, the soft skill, their understanding, their leadership quality, everything we can assess.
Okay, so let me give you an example. Suppose we have a set of students. I have 2 students with me. Okay, so one student is very good in expressing his ideas. Okay, his communication skills are very good, and he has come up with his thoughts, and he has presented the project well, and he has done the work, he has presented it well. And there is another student who is weak in his communication skills. He has also done the same work, but just how would you assess him against the other person? Would you think that his communication skills are poor if he has done the same work, and if you feel that the work done by him is good enough, then do you think that you need to give the other person a better edge, a bigger edge?
For each and every parameter, weightage should be there, and as per their performance on that particular parameter, we'll assess them.
Okay.
So as far as the hello.
Yeah, sure. Tell me.
Yeah, as far as the technical calibration is required, it is required that both of the students will have the same technically correct output. That is the way, something which we cannot deny.
Yeah.
So the guy who's having a good communication skill also should have exactly the same technical output as a guy who does not have a good communication skill. But at the end of the day, once these fellows will work in a company or in an organization, apart from designing in isolated manner or calculating stuff, they will also have to interact with the team. They will have to present to the client. So there are a lot of other issues. So the guy who doesn't have good communication skill, he has to be told that, you have to.
He has to be told, yes.
Because you see, most of the companies, you find that a lot of client interaction, a lot of interpersonal communication is very, very important, apart from just isolated programming or isolated things. So it is an overall development. That is
that's true. That's very correct. But then when you assess them, and when you are devising means for standardizing assessment, then what all parameters, like one parameter we said, like madam was saying, their technical skills, their soft skills, these are certain parameters. What other parameters do you think would weigh when you assess the student performance? Or can we list out a set of parameters here for assessment? I
It
think
is
that
the out of box thinking.
yes,
That
out
is
of box
also, that
thinking.
is that innovation, out of box thinking. That is also very important.
Yes, that's one thing. Out of box
Right.
thinking, innovative thinking. Yes. Then they come soft skills, technical skills, out of box thinking. Then
the basic learning. The basic learning is
The
primary.
fundamentals, of course, is very important. If the fundamentals are not
how will
very
you
clear,
evaluate that? How would you evaluate his
Madam,
fundamental?
may I please say something?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm practicing this for long time. That during the Viva OC, I make them sit together. I mean, in a large group, instead of taking 5 or 6 people and asking them questions. I mean, sometimes people laugh at this process, but it is an effective one. I found that you make 20 students sit together for the Viva.
Yeah.
And you prepare yourself with a large number of questions set. So you start with some very simple questions, and those questions will be, I mean, asked to all the students. I mean, in a following a typical pattern from one end to the other, those questions will be asked to the students. Even if someone is not able to answer that simple question, then it will be passed on to the next one or to the next one, like this. Then you go to a little more critical set of questions, and in the third phase you make the questions specific to some of the students. I mean, they may be critical, they may be very simple. Now after a few rounds, I mean, this Viva, you are
you keep on increasing the difficulty level.
Yes, not only that, instead of asking 5 or 6 questions repeatedly to a group, you prepare a set of some 50 or 60 questions. And they themselves will come to know after half an hour or after 1 hour that how much depth of knowledge they themselves are in.
They have,
Yes. So I found it
that's a good idea.
Very effective to judge the person, and at the same time they will also get the feeling that yes, where I am lacking behind, where my fellow friends are running much ahead of me. That could be
Dr.
one.
Diganta was saying about competitive spirit. Here that competitive spirit will also come up, like when he sees his friends are answering and I am not able to do it.
Yes, I mean, there will be surely some people who will not be bothered even after
that's there.
But there will be many who will, I mean, get some sense out of it, surely.
That's really good.
I would like to share something. By screen sharing. Possible?
Okay. Yeah, sure. You can. I'll stop the sharing. You can share.
Okay, this is our continuous learning flipped class assessment process. This is visible.
Yes.
So there are a lot of parameters actually, and which was framed upon the World Economic Forum assessment for the next generation learning, that is Education 4.0. So first of all, there is a column of digital content overall, means that they are actually in a flipped class. They are given some in-class assessments, in-class assignments. So there is a pre-class things which is given already, in-class activity through brainstorming or through the various activities. They have to come up with something, and also there are post-class assessment or post-class assignments. So even after post-class as well as in-class, whatever assignment they make, so within that is basically digital content, and that first of all, this is overall evaluation of that. The flow is checked over there, whether the flow is coming up or not, the quality, the understanding of that content, whether the person has understood or not, which is reflected during the class, then the balance, whether it's properly mixed or not,
Okay.
the group discussion capabilities of the student, the negotiation skills, and also the leadership quality. Because the whole thing was a completely interactive class. So in a flipped class, what is told that if the flipped class is somehow someone is passing through the flipped class and it is silent, then basically no flipping is happening over there. It has to be completely talkative, completely noisy, and a lot of things has to be happening, and a lot of discussions are ongoing, and people are sometimes, there are pictures with me, but right now I'm not finding out that some group is actually doing some activity within solving some problems together, and the other group is actually presenting at on the board. There are different type of boards over there. One is digital board, another is whiteboard also, and this is done every day. Actually every day it is done.
Okay.
If somebody is
so
not
you
present,
what is the marking system? Is it grades
it is
or
it is by 10 you can mark everything, and there will be averaging automatically coming up from this.
Okay,
This
okay,
is
that's a great value that's coming up.
Yeah, this is a daily thing, and then after that there is a monthly one. A monthly one also come up, and ultimately monthly data is calculated.
Okay, so that data is carried forward
Yes,
each grade, and then
and automatically everything is calculated. So that is
okay.
the
It's a
practice of
very
flipped learning.
transparent system also. It's good
Yes,
one.
yes.
Good.
I
Yes,
think that
yes,
is a
that's a
great,
nice thing that has been shared.
That is a great thing which has been shared.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, of course, to maintain.
Yeah, but
very difficult.
But do you think it is being done by the teacher effectively? Is
Yes,
the
yes,
teacher
actually,
doing it sincerely?
it
Or he's
happens
just
what?
giving 0, 1, 2, 3 marks?
It's like now it happens some of the parameters are judged, might be within 10 parameters, actually 5, 6 parameters are properly judged, and the rest are actually based on the student also, because the student is already good. So there are some marks which is already coming because you understand the student is good.
Yeah.
So as a teacher, whenever if you are even checking a single copy, some perception always there about the student.
First time you see the name of the student, that face comes into your mind, and you know.
Little bit of those things may come up, because all the time
yeah.
it's not possible to mark all the parameters, but we try that.
No, 100% is not possible, but then even if you can achieve up to 80%,
yes, even we think even 60% if you achieve, that is a big thing.
Yes, 60%
like that,
is good enough. Yes, that's really good.
But we are always behind the student. What exactly they are doing, but the competency is a huge challenge here. Competence, student competency, that level of student that we are getting. If you are at a better institute, I mean, maybe a NIT or some place, we get good students. So these methodologies are even better.
It's very much more easier
to because you are giving a content that you already know that half of your students will not understand that. Then such things are very
it doesn't work. Yeah,
very challenging.
That's true. That's very challenging. But still, unless you start all this,
starting,
there's no
the mindset changing was the biggest job, and every semester we have FDPs on flipped learning, just to again remind what I have to do, what has to be done, how in online mode also you can do some grouping and all. So we keep on doing that.
That's what see, effective teaching where like you conduct FDPs regularly, so you're always updated. The teachers are kept updated about what they do. Otherwise, what happens, you start a system and then it dies out slowly. So if that doesn't happen, that's the most important thing. It's very good. Anybody else, or shall we move ahead? I think it's almost 12:30, and then we've got a little more to cover. I think I'll just quickly move. Are you bored?
No,
are
madam.
you all?
No, madam.
Would you like to let us continue for some more time? So these are some things. I think you can work on this more. You can think of more ideas. Dr. Sandeep has presented a good thought. And
flipped learning, madam, I just want to comment one thing very quickly.
Yeah.
Flipped learning presented by Sandeep is very good, actually. I mean, that is something very good. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is the student should ultimately get critical thinking about that particular subject.
Yes.
Absolutely. This is the critical thinking building process, actually.
Yeah. So what I was suggesting that it should be in hybrid mode. Some lectures should be absolutely very seriously, should be, absolutely, pen and board and chalk and board. Few lectures.
Yes.
And then complementing occasionally within a week, 1 or 2 lectures can be flipped learning.
Right. You're absolutely right. That's why we have 2 classes actually. One is called concept class, another is called application class.
So that runs simultaneously. Does that run simultaneously?
In the routine, yes. In the routine, it is made in such a way that there are 2 concept class and 4 application class in every week. So in that way, we manage.
Okay. Yes, that's a right point which you've raised. Both should be there. Otherwise, it's not.
Yeah, both should be there,
effective.
because ultimately, in the chalk and board kind of in class, we will have to tell the soul of that equation.
Yeah.
And in the flip learning, we will have to apply that soul in real case study.
Yes, yes. Unless have that soul, then you can't apply.
Yeah. Ultimately, if you don't know, what is VI characteristics of the diode, what is that equation really means.
Yeah, right.
Because even if you provide that to the student earlier, but still that some students will not understand, some students have not read, some students have not followed. So we have to assume that, and accordingly we have to check the flip.
That connectivity ultimately has to be there.
Yes,
that is very important. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Both together will work wonders. That's the thing. Okay, so let's move ahead. See, I'll just show you a teaching learning cycle. This is also something which we've all discussed. This is a entire teaching learning cycle where you can see that the final thing is you end up in quality assurance and evaluation. What is the end thing what you require? So actually in this process, it's a continuous process where you are identifying the needs of the student. And then the teacher is planning his methodology, the teaching pedagogy, and the entire teaching process is planned. Then your student-centric learning where you're facilitating learning, and then you're assessing learning. And finally, if all these are done effectively, then you are able to bring in a good quality. And that entire evaluation process also becomes very effective. So this is the teaching learning cycle. So here if you can do it later on. This is a task. When you will get this PPT, you can just do this task, and maybe if you are able to, if you can mail it later on, you can do it in groups, or you can do it in as a single. Suppose you are from a same institute, then you can work together. And how do you manage quality at each stage of this teaching learning cycle? You can list these down under these 5 components. So this is a task which you all can do, and I would be very happy if I can get it from you all. You can even post it in Google Classroom. How this is done? How are you managing quality at each of the stages? While you are planning the learning, how you're identifying the needs of the students, how you are planning your teaching process, and everywhere what stress and emphasis you're giving on quality. So this is one task which you can do. And this is again this something which we've already discussed. How is teaching and learning measured, evaluated? How long have you been doing it? I think many of you are in the inception stage. Many have already been practicing. Many are thinking of doing it as a part of your change management project. Also, you can implement certain things. What are the strengths and limitations of this model? And again, what barriers would you be there, and how can you overcome them? So this is the last part of it. How you can develop highly effective teachers. So see how, as a teacher, there is a 360-degree model which has been described as a teacher. What are the, yes? Anything?
No.
Okay, I think Swamiji is speaking to someone. So where all can a teacher's role be effective in these 3 areas? You can consider classroom practice, the performance data of the students, how their attendance in your particular class, their retention in your class, and what is their success rates, achievement rates of the students, what is the feedback. So how a teacher's effectiveness can be judged on these parameters. So this is a 360-degree model where this entire thing together will tell you how effective a teacher is. That is the way you deliver the contents in the classroom, the way, not only the content delivery in the classroom, what other things you do to facilitate learning, and what is the outcome, the performance of the students, how they are performing, and is your class effective enough to retain students, their attention, their presence, like in online classes, having them present, having them listen to you. So how good that is, and certainly the feedback of the students. So if we can discuss how a teacher's role can be incorporated in all this, how effectively a teacher can perform in all these things. And now we go on to changing this, what all changes can be done. So I think this, do you remember this quarters model? In the first workshop, we had discussed about the quarters model. Yes, I think in the last day or the previous, the day before the winding up of the workshop, Moya madam had delivered on change. So this was a quarters model, and these are the different stages of the quarters model. You can see these are the different 6 stages which needs to be given attention for implementing change. So tomorrow when we go on to the change management project and how sustenance of change can be done, we'll be again covering this. So as a teacher, you can just look at this model, and as a teacher, you can just see how these fit into your teaching learning process. Increase urgency. There is a requirement for change. Like you said, like we were thinking about having we were just saying how classroom, normal routine classroom teaching always doesn't help. Like a blended mode where you have some routine teaching plus some application oriented teaching. So first there should be a requirement for change, so that increase the urgency for change. And then you need to have a group. See, like Dr. Sandeep was talking about effectively implementing flipped classroom in his college, in his institute. The entire all the semesters are working on it. So if that has to be implemented, there must be a group that will be assisting a person who wants to implement. So that implementation requires coalition, the vision. See this model which he showed, the assessment criteria, there must be somebody who has worked on it, created it, developed it, and then you communicate it and get it done and empower people to do it. So this entire process. So suppose we just take the idea of flipped classroom and see where we can fit in all this. Empowerment, short-term wins, consolidate new approaches where whatever shortcomings we have found, what other new things can we bring in to make a difference in the approach we have chosen. So all these things. So whatever approach, you can all think of one strategy as a teacher, what you would be taking up, and where this quarters model would fit in that particular strategy. Like madam was saying, Chandipani madam was saying about how she gets people work on a project. So that particular activity. So how she had implemented that change, how she could bring out that change. When people are doing, making people do minor projects, simulations, inquiry-based learning, any activity you take up, and whether this model fits in and how effectively you could get it done. So you can just work on this also, because it's a very useful model where you can really work on getting change done. So if you have this model in mind, I think implementation of change is quite easy. So I hope you all would work on this. So this is something which, see, it's on a balance. These are the things that weigh, which is more, which is less. We just cannot really decide upon. Development and improvement, accountability and quality. This has equal weightage, and it just keeps, it's like it's shifting up and down. So now you can see, now this is something which we have learned earlier. You can, as a teacher, so we were talking about leaders, in the previous workshop, we talked about leaders. What are the leadership styles? What motivational theory? We had studied about different motivational theories. Do you remember one motivational theory which we studied, which we did covered in the last workshop? Any one motivational theory? Any one motivational theory? Okay, Vroom's theory, Herzberg. Do you remember? I think it's all, it's there, right? But not able to recollect. So you can think of these motivational theories and what management style, what is a management style that would suit as a teacher, where it would work. So we're coming to a close. How can you become a great teacher? What efforts can you put to go from good to great? It's, see, greatness, how do you achieve greatness? It is your mindset multiplied by the action, what you perform, what you do, plus your time, you devote the time for it. Then that automatically you can work to become a great teacher. So this is a book by Jim Collins, Good to Great. So I think that's all for today. I think I've taken it too long. You all must be without a break. So I'll be sharing this PPT with you all. So are you all exhausted completely?
No, it's okay.
No,
It's okay.
ma'am.
No, ma'am, it's okay.
Okay, so I
Only
think,
could not remind the theories.
yeah.
So much into practical.
I was wondering why you all so quiet, so quiet.
Yeah, we have forgotten
Vroom's
the
theory,
names of the
Herzberg,
theories.
all these
Herzberg,
theories.
yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, motivational. This thing. Just I remember that we had discussed about that Shah Rukh Khan film, the hockey, when India.
Yeah, Chak De.
Chak
Chak
De, Chak
De,
De.
India. Yeah. I think we had discussed about that. How Shah Rukh Khan,
Yes.
did that. Yeah, I don't know which
Yeah,
theory.
and you all discussed what are the ways for motivation.
Yeah.
XY theory. There was one XY theory, and what helps in motivating staff. All these things you had discussed. You had come up with a lot of interesting points for motivation. So, and you also, yeah.
Madam,
Pardon?
Maslow's hierarchy.
Yeah, Maslow's theory was not there in our, yes, Maslow's motivational theory is also a very famous theory, but that was not there in our
in that particular discussion.
Yeah, it was not included.
Yeah, yes.
Vroom's expectancy theory was one in which there was, you work for rewards and you perform and then you get rewards for it. That was Vroom's theory.
Madam,
anyway, let's put that behind, and it's lunchtime.
Madam, I just want to add something here. Like motivation is so instinctive, so it is very difficult to remember theory and then motivating people.
Yeah, right.
It is so instinctive and emotional. Motivation comes from heart.
Very true.
So it is very difficult. Bloom theorem 1, corollary 2.0. I have to remember.
Yeah. You cannot say that.
Right.
You cannot say I'm motivating you based on Bloom's
because
theory.
of Maslow, he told me this, so I should follow this.
No. Yes. You're correct. So it's not actually necessary. But then, see, when you learn certain concepts, it's always you can think of those theories. Yeah. So, like, see, this would be an interesting task, to just try to link your teaching process to some leadership style. You can just evaluate yourself, how good a teacher you are, and how effective you are, how you can move from good to great. What leadership styles do you take up? What are the what motivates you? These are certain things you can just in retrospect, you can just think about it and introspect yourself, and then just think further, so that will help you out in improving as a teacher. See, you all are good teachers. Maybe that's why we are always saying it's moving ahead from good to great. There is no doubt that whether you're all good, or there's no question about bad. It's only just how to become great. So I think with that, on that note, we'll just close today's class. It was really fun and very, very nice interacting with you all. I just didn't feel that it was 2 hours. And
Madam, seeing expression when taking the class, seeing expression of students' face, I can understand that whether my class has become great, good, or worst.
Yeah, that's true.
If I see droopy faces, like they are like getting
irritated. Every
irritated.
class you can understand whether it was good or great.
Yeah. And if it's a great class, you can understand, those
reflection.
Reflection, the eyes, the
very
sparkle,
correct. It's very correct. And the satisfaction we have after that great class,
You always feel it,
Yeah.
because as a
You
teacher
always
you
feel
always
it.
feel it कि हाँ, आज का class अच्छा रहा.
Aaj ka class acha hua, yes. And you know, and when a student asks you a certain doubt and you feel you're able to clarify it effectively, properly, and then you feel that sense of achievement.
Right.
Like it's always a great class motivates you. That itself motivates you.
One thing, madam, I remind from the last workshop, there was a tool by which there was a long questions rounds through which the judgment could be made, good or great or type of leaders and all those things,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
protagonist
personal
and all those things.
Acha,
Yes, as
acha.
personality test. So there is no such test made for teachers, I guess, to evaluate good or great teacher.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, you know, that you cannot really say, see, that's why this leadership training program has been thought of itself, is that how you relate teaching with leaders, teacher with a leader. So I think all management theories apply to us also.
True.
Whatever
Absolutely.
management theories are there, it is not only for managers. It's, see, when you just think of all those leadership styles and aren't we able to relate it to us?
Yes, in
We
the
are all
class
able
also.
to relate to
In the class
us.
also.
So
Yeah.
it's very much useful for us also, for the teaching fraternity, to use those management theories and see where we all fit in. And I think we can also, it's like, it's a two-way process. So we can easily fit into that, and even managers can take some tips and ideas from us also in what we do, in maybe about creative thinking, so many things, like what teachers have, the qualities that teachers have. So I think this leadership and training program which AICTE has formulated is quite useful in understanding our leadership skills and how we can work on it to improve our own capabilities.
Very true.
Anybody else? So I think, shall we close for the day? And I think after lunch, Sumanta will be, you can tell them what time Prerna madam's class would be starting.
Yeah.
And
Actually,
today also you will be having two interesting games. We'll see whether we'll be able to conduct two games. Otherwise, one game will surely be there at 3:30.
Madam, can we have 3 games?
Oh. We have a storehouse of a few games. We have planned a few games, but then see, it gets
Games
too
are
late, isn't it?
Games are very interesting, madam.
Then surely we have anyway 2 games we have. Let's see how we can conduct it. Then we have a stock of another couple of games.
Please don't cut it down to 1 game, madam. Make 2
okay,
games.
surely then we'll have 2 games.
And if possible, increase 1 more. So two minimum, maximum to 3.
Okay, sure. I'll convey to Mom, madam also, because we were thinking that you people must be bored.
No, madam. Games are very interesting.
Okay, then done.
Shumanto sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I forgot to check out this chat box. I was so into this session continuously.
Okay. I am reopening the Google Form again.
Kindly, thank you.
And the next session, madam, will be from 1:30 p.m.
1:30. Okay. Yeah. Would that be a very too short lunch break for all? Is it okay?
Too short.
2 p.m. will be good.
Please take it
better, madam. From 2 p.m.
Please make it from 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Okay, I have to talk to Mohua madam and Prerna
yeah.
madam.
Please talk to Mohua madam and also Prerna ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay then. Good day to all of you. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye, all of you.
Bye.
Shall I leave, Sumanto?
Yes, madam. So I am stopping the recording.
Okay.